Hi again, I'm Miss Mallory and I'm from the Quinen Street Project and I'm here to teach you drama. Now today is going to be our last video. There's going to be a lot of information in it, so just hang tough with me, and if you ever need a break, feel free to just press pause. But I promise it won't be too much, but we are going to pack a lot in today. So today we are going to work on tech design, stage and audience, and then we're going to talk about rehearsal and the final performance. The final performance we would be doing if we were actually meeting in class. But first, let's go ahead and check in. How do you feel today? Use one word to describe how you feel and give me a gesture that might match it. Awesome. Well, I'm Miss Mallory again, and today I'm feeling energetic. I'm feeling energetic. All right, and before we move on, let's review what we went over last time. So last time we talked about emotions, feelings, and improvisation. So emotions and feelings are like the words that we just described, how we feel. It's really important when you are playing a character. How is your character feeling, or how does your character act when they're sad? How do they act when they're happy? How do they act when they're upset or angry? We also talked about improv. So improv is making it up as you go. And let's go ahead and review what we've learned the last few weeks, which is, what is drama? What is drama? You can say it out loud. That's right, drama is acting out a story. And we act out those stories by using our 3 tools. What are the 3 tools of an actor? That's right, it's this, and this, which is our bodies, our voices, and our imaginations. So those are the 3 tools of an actor. Excuse me. All right. Before we move on, let's go ahead and warm up. We got to warm up our tools that we have in order to be good actors. Athletes have to warm up, singers have to warm up. So as actors, we're gonna warm up. First off, I want you to reach above your heads. Act like there's candy in the ceiling. So reach your hands up above your head. You can even act like you're climbing a rope. Now, wiggle your fingers. Drop your fingers, drop your wrists, drop your elbows, and then drop your shoulders. Now, take a crayon. This is a crayon in my head. Put it on top of your head, like this, and draw some circles with your head, with that crayon, onto the ceiling. Draw 4 circles. Now do it the other way 4 times. Very slowly. Now, I want you to take that crayon, take it off of your head, break it in half, and stick each half on your shoulders. Here and one here. Now, draw circles on both sides of the room with the crayons on your shoulders. Let's do 4 backwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now 4 forwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just heard some bones cracking. Okay, now take these crayons, put them back together. Just put it away for now. Set it to the side. Now, I want you to give me a superhero chest. So what does a superhero chest look like? For me, a superhero chest is nice and big and proud and powerful. So let's do superhero chest. Now let's do a villain chest. Villain kind of just gets small and tiny and evil, right? Now let's go back to superhero chest. Big and proud and out, and then villain chest. And small. Shrink. Now, superhero chest again. No, villain chest. Superhero chest. No, villain chest. Oh, okay. Good job. Now, I want you to create a ball of energy in between your hands like this. So clap your hands, use your hands. Now clap them together and create a warm ball of energy until it becomes nice and warm. Okay, now wake up your body with this ball of energy. Start off with your head, back of your head, your face, your arms, shoulders. Let's go to your chest. Go like this. Ah. Now go to your belly and your back and your hips and your thighs. Now your legs and your calves, even to your feet. Okay, now I want you to warm up your face. So make your face nice and big like this. Eyes big, mouth big. Now small. Big. Now small. 2 more times. Big. Now small. Big. And small. Okay. Now, we need to warm up our voices and our mouth. So, first you're going to blow your lips out like a horse, but don't make any sound and don't make any vibrations with your mouth. You just go like this. Now you can play with sound and vibrating your lips. Play with some sound. Okay, now let's go ahead and warm up our voices and this tool here, our face, our body, our mouths. We're going to do this by going through the alphabet. So with every letter that you say, don't just say A. I want you to use your entire face to do the alphabet. So if I say A, it's A. So make sure to use your cheeks and your lips and your nose and your eyes to do the alphabet. We're going to start at the beginning. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So hopefully your cheeks are all warmed up and loosened now. Now, let's get into some tongue twisters. I have a couple for you. If you know them on your own, you can do your own, but I'll start off with a couple. Unique, New York. You know you need unique, New York. Now say it again with me. Unique, New York. You know you need unique, New York. I say it a little bit faster. Unique, New York. You know you need unique, New York. Unique, New York. Unique, New York. You know you need unique, New York. You know you need unique, New York. Unique, New York. Unique, New York. You know you need unique, New York. Now let's try this next one. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. You might know this one already. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Let's do it a little bit faster. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? A little bit faster. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? And one more. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. A little bit faster. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. Oh my gosh. Good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, good job warming up. So today we are going to talk about tech and design. But before we do that, this is a really good opportunity to go and grab a piece of paper or two and a pencil, crayons, anything that you might have to draw with. And I'll tell you what we're going to draw in just a moment. Go ahead and pause this if you need to. Okay, awesome. So I want to talk about what is involved in tech design and costume design. So a set designer is the person who designs and builds what's on stage. So the furniture, any backdrop, anything that might have to do with setting the scene. Remember we were talking about the 5 W's. So who, what, when, where, why. Who, what, when, where, why. You can do so much with the design of the stage. So you can set where it's at and possibly when. Because if you think about, say for example, the set design for a small apartment in Manhattan or in Brooklyn, in New York, is going to look a lot different than the set design for a I was gonna say a sunny apartment in California, but everything's kind of getting smaller nowadays anyway. So it's gonna look a lot different than, say, set design for something that is set in Russia or set in Europe. Things look so completely different. For example, when I studied abroad in Paris when I was 20, and the thing that like confused me so much was that the shower door is about this big. I'm not kidding you. The shower door is this big, and I was so confused, and everyone else in my program was like really confused. Why is the shower door this big? So if someone was setting or designing a set for an apartment in Paris, likely the door for the shower is going to be this big. I don't get it. I still don't get it, and I never looked it up. Probably should. But here we have actual shower doors, right? They're either glass or they're curtains. So that's how things could be different, and how you can set the stage to determine where the story is set. Also when, right? So if it is set in the 1940s, then the windows that you see for, a house is going to look a lot different. Now we have these nice, white frame double pane windows in some places. And before they're probably, the frame is probably going to be wood. The glass is probably a little bit thinner, or at least just looks a little bit different. So the set designer can really tell a story with what it looks like. The wallpaper, what the doors look like, pretty much everything, and the furniture, right? Couches that were built in the 70s, they're probably going to be like orange or brown or white, and very like like square, maybe kind of fuzzy. Now, modern couches, they're, white. They are a little bit more like minimalist, so they're a little bit more simple. They're not as like flashy. A chaise or like a velvet couch might belong in France or something like that, or someone who has like very expensive taste. So set designer really does tell a story. We also have costume. So the costume designer decides what the actors will wear, or sometimes the director will decide that too. And the costume designer will make drawings of what they will eventually sew or purchase. Sometimes they borrow these clothes to make the actors look like their characters. So I've been in plays before where I have had to actually bring in my own clothes to act in, but sometimes theaters, what they'll do is they will have a whole room set aside for costumes, and everything that you can think of: hats and wigs and shoes, canes, belts, dresses, robes, pants, just everything, because what a character wears definitely determines what that character is like. My character as a human being, I wear a lot of athletic wear, or sometimes I kind of dress like a tomboy, so I like different cuts. But then when I like to go out, I get really like dressed up. I like flowy skirts, and so that would be me, but I dress completely different from even some of my friends. So if my friends had a costume designer, they would probably wear a lot of heels and leggings and big earrings. So every character has, they dress differently, they act differently, and that can also come out in the way that they dress. If someone is a fitness instructor in a play, then they're probably going to wear athletic wear like all the time: tennis shoes, leggings, windbreakers, things like that. If someone is a doctor, playing a doctor, they're probably on stage at least going to have a white doctor's coat on, at least for some of the play, so that you can see that person is a doctor, or they'll have glasses or like a stethoscope around their neck. So costume also tells the story, very important part. And sometimes, most of the time, we also have other people who are in charge of telling a story with what you see, the design. So we have the people who are in charge of lighting, the lighting designers. A red light on stage tells a very different story than a blue light on stage. A red light is like scandalous and kind of dangerous, and then a blue light can mean sadness or depression, or maybe it's evening time. So the lighting makes a big difference. Sometimes you'll have a spotlight on someone who's talking, and sometimes it means that they're by themselves or they're doing a monologue, so they have this long speech and you're supposed to be paying attention to them. So the lighting makes a big difference. We also have sound. So the sound of rain that comes in, that'll tell the audience that it's raining, and that could be really important to the story. We also have props. The people who are in charge of props, they take care of what else is on stage: a tea kettle, a cane, the things that you might use, a computer, a cup for drinking. Those are called props. And then finally, we have a stage manager. I've been a stage manager before too, actually. I think I was 15 when I did my first stage management. And you wear radio, and you make sure that the actors are where they need to be. You're watching the script, and you're making sure that the actors are ready to go on, that they go to their right places on stage, that the lights, that the sounds are all working at the right time. So stage management oversees kind of all of the operations for the play. So that is sort of a short version of what stage design and tech looks like. Now, what I would like for you to do is to create your own design for what you think Rosie Revere, a stage for Rosie Revere might look like. I would like for you to do that. So go ahead and take out your paper and your pencil and whatever crayons you have, and feel free to just create a design for Rosie Revere Engineer. And keep in mind the 5 W's, so who, what, when, where, and why. You also have another option. You can create a set design or a costume. So what might Rosie or great-great-aunt Rose wear? What could Zookeeper Fred wear? You can also sketch that as well. Okay, so pause this video and go ahead and make your design, whether it's for the set design or for costume. Okay, so I went ahead and did a quick sketch of the Rosie Revere Engineer stage, maybe how I think it might be set up. It can be completely different from what you think it is, or from how other people have drawn it before, but this is what I came up with, and it's what was in my head. So right here it says Rosie Revere Engineer, and I have the set split up in 2. So on this side is the class, because it does talk about her being in class. Maybe I should have made it smaller, because I think most of it takes place in her inventor's workshop. So here I have Rosie's desk in the front. Here's the audience. So it would be like this. So if you're the audience and this is the stage, so it'd be like looking this way. Here would be some of her classmates sitting in the back, so 3 chairs in the back for her classmates. Here's Rosie's desk. A window might be right here facing that way. And then this is where it would split, and I put a door in between the classroom and her workshop so that she could just walk right through. Here would be Rosie's engineer desk, where she might make her plans and draw her plans and stuff, in her chair. This might be a chair for Zookeeper Fred or for her great-great-aunt Rose to sit in. Maybe a mark here so that she could stand there. Then back here we have a window, maybe a window facing like a fake backyard. And then back here I would have her inventions kind of like displayed in the back there to kind of like set the scene. And then up here, right in front of the audience, is I think where like a fake lawn would be, so like fake grass, and that's where she drags her cheesocopter to test it out. So that's what I think maybe what the set might look like. Now show me yours. Awesome, good job. So that is set design and costume design. So I hope you learned a little bit about that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about rehearsal. So rehearsal basically just means practice. If you're an athlete, you know that practice makes a big difference with your performance. You have to practice saying your lines out loud, working with your scene partners. You have to get on a good rhythm. You have to get on the same page when it comes to your performance, because if you don't rehearse and you do the performance without rehearsing, the audience can tell. And the point of watching stories being told is to kind of escape from, real life. And so if you don't rehearse, if you don't practice, then the audience can tell, and then they're kind of like taken out of that, like that story a little bit if you don't do that. So rehearsal is really important. Again, rehearse means to practice. Rehearse means to practice. And actors will rehearse for weeks, depending how big the production is. It could be anywhere between a month to 3 months. And actors are busy people too, especially theater actors. Some of us have other jobs also. So actors usually rehearse at night, so they'll go to work and then they will go to rehearsal in the evening. even movie and TV actors, they rehearse their lines, they go over things many times in order to get it right. So if we were in class, we would be rehearsing for the last couple of weeks, depending on what our parts are. We would be rehearsing in class with each other. Now let's talk about stage and audience. So you're not always going to be on stage. Sometimes you're going to be in the audience, and the best way to be an audience member is to be a good listener. It's important to pay attention and to be respectful of the people that are on stage. At the end of the, just to be quiet, don't answer your phone. If you do, maybe sneak out, very quietly sneak out and answer your phone. But being a respectful audience member is really important. And then at the end of the performance, then you applaud. You can, if you really enjoy the performance, you can get up from your seat and give the actors a standing ovation, which means you really liked it. So you stand up and you clap. Sometimes, depending on the place or the show, you go, woo, yeah, and then you can yell for the person. I usually end up doing that if I have friends in the show, or if I'm at a music show or at a concert. I definitely yell afterwards and clap. So being a good audience member is just as important as being a good actor. Now, as far as being on stage goes, for the final performance, what you might do is usually at the end, the actors, what they'll do is they will bow one at a time. So they'll go, they bow, and it's kind of a recognition to the audience, kind of saying thank you for coming, thank you for being respectful, and also just kind of recognizing all of the work, all of the hard work that you've done, all the rehearsals and the working together, because it's not easy. All of that comes in a bow. So you're kind of saying thank you, and also, wow, I'm really proud of the work that I've been doing. If you are an actor in a show and you are backstage, how you act backstage is also really important. It's not just how you are on stage. It's important to be present. If you're not on the stage and you're waiting to go on stage for your part, it's also really important to be quiet and respectful and not distract the other actors. And then when you actually do get on stage for your part, if someone else is giving their lines or performing and you are on stage and you can be seen by the audience, it's really important not to just space out or just kind of start looking around, unless that's your character, or just forget about yourself, or to just check your phone. The audience can still see you, and so you have to stay in character while you're on stage, no matter what. If someone is giving a speech and you're not the one giving the speech, maybe you're in the back and you're reacting and you're nodding your head or shaking your head. But just being in that moment and being a good actor, you just have to be on. You have to be present in the moment. And that's one of the lovely parts about being an actor and being on stage. So that is it. If we were in class and at school, then we would be sharing our final performance with some of your parents or some of the teachers or another class. But we're not. But I hope that you learned a lot in this class, and just some things to think about. Thinking back on drama class. First off, what did you like about drama? What did you learn in drama? And what would you change about drama? Is there anything that you would change or do differently, or anything that you would like to see? Just think about that going forward. It's always good to evaluate and to think back on your experiences. It's just as important as being there and present and being there and doing the work. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for welcoming me into your home, your home classroom. I know that this is a really, really weird time, and I hope that you have a good summer. On the count of 3, let's say drama class. 1, 2, 3, drama class.